So define transactional loyalty.
Okay, so I know one thing you and I've talked about before is I have this model that I've used in my work where we talk about 4 different types of loyalty, but I think at the moment we're really talking about 2 of them. And first of all, I should probably back up and say that I think it's really critical when you're thinking about your own business not to think about loyalty as binary. It's either on or off. Well, I have my loyal customers and I have my transient, customers who come and go, but I have my really loyal customers. Well, even those really loyal customers are probably loyal for different reasons. You activated that loyalty in different ways at different times, and it's really important to think about that. So one of the ways we can certainly activate loyalty with customers is what I'd call mercenary loyalty. And it's like exactly what it sounds like. Yeah. It's that, to your point, it's that loyalty of the transaction. It's loyalty of the price. Like you cut your commission so that, somebody decided to go with you. Or you were able to get them in at a great price. And there's nothing wrong with it. We identify it because it is a type of loyalty, but it is loyalty of the transaction. And the danger of building your loyalty around that is it's very possible for somebody else to deliver a similar kind of transactional experience, right? To your point, it's a low bar. Well, the fact that it's a low bar means how many people can meet that bar? Probably almost everybody, right? So if that's what you're basing your loyalty on, you're probably constantly trying to get the same people to come back. You're not being successful at. So that's one thing I'd say to look at. If you're struggling with the retention of your clients, of getting them to stay connected with you, coming back or referring you, look at how transactional that is. Because what it probably means is it's not that you did a bad job. The customer service, the customer experience was probably just fine, but you didn't differentiate. Anybody else could have provided pretty much that same thing. So where do I go then? So one of the other types of loyalty we talk about, which is way more relational, is I actually call it true loyalty. So everything else is not true in a sense. Sure. True loyalty is the loyalty of the experience that you create. So you brought something above and beyond the transaction, the product, even your own, just being a professional delivering the service you're supposed to. Did you get to know that customer better and get to know their needs better? Did you anticipate what they needed without them even realizing they had that need yet? That's probably the highest form of this, right? If I get to know you, whether that's through personal interaction or data, and I can say to you, I know you haven't asked about this, but we need to go look at this, or we need to think about this. You're anticipating things they haven't even asked for. That's totally relational. That is not transactional at all. It's also, do I follow up with you afterwards? Do I stay connected to you even when there's not a quid pro quo in the relationship at the moment, so that you feel like I'm somebody that continues to give value over time? So why is that better? Because the quality of that experience that you're building raises the bar. And it's also very difficult for a competitor to see exactly what you're doing. So it's hard for somebody else to copy. And that's also how you begin to differentiate in the marketplace, is delivering that different kind of experience that's personalized, that anticipates those customer needs. It's very, very hard to break that kind of loyalty being built. And does that mean I can just forget about the transactional piece? No, definitely not. You have to have the transactional piece. You have to meet the low bar, but then you start to raise it with the experience that you create, the relationship you're building.
So defining the mercenary as simple as could just be price, right?
Sure.
And true loyalty is defined by that idea of anticipation of their needs, right?
Yes.
That's very difficult. You have to be a real professional to know that, right? I try very hard to always quote Wayne Gretzky in skating, to where the puck is going, right?
Yes.
Everybody knows that this is what a transaction looks like, but your profession and all of your experience says, but here's really what's going to happen. And because I love your model, and it's the reason why you're sitting here, can you just explain the other 2 in this model?
Yeah, so there are 2 transactional types of loyalty. There are 2 relational types. So the other transactional type, other than mercenary, is what we call inertia loyalty. And that, generally speaking, is loyalty that we have to brands or experiences that, one, we either feel sort of trapped in, or the other thing could be we just don't care enough to move on. So just personally, we all, I'm sure, could think of experiences who say, well, it looks like I'm loyal to that brand. I keep buying that service or purchasing that product. but it's because I can't get out of it. Like, for instance, that's most people's experience, say, with their cable company. People say, I don't love the service, but there isn't anybody else offering in my town, or it simply could be, it's too much trouble to move it over.